Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 11. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here and welcome back to this week's news report with High-Tech Investment. Once again, we are at week 11 of 2024. We got plenty of news, plenty of updates. We're going to have a look at some of our platforms. And of course, we're also going to have a look into all our trading we have at the moment. February was a bit low on the trading side, but as it looks right now, things are looking up. Our PAMM account is actually running now for 2 weeks and things are looking very, very well. So let's see if we can be as happy as this particular trader here. But first of all, we're going to come back to that a bit later on. I'm going to actually show you some details within the PAMM account here. How much we've been trading so far, how many lot sizes, how well we are going. It's still very early days, but there is good and positive numbers all the way around, and obviously things are yet to come. Now, yet to come is Decenomy. There's actually no news out of Decenomy here. So what we've done is just give you a small brief again on the Q1. This was also similar to last week, evaluation and review of the asset providers and also the KYC process in here. So this is currently ongoing. Yield Notes Pro, also the reinsurance on the NFT with the resolution of the security vulnerability that they had earlier on in the year. And then also ensuring that the NFT is once again fully tradable by restoring their trading capability also to the platform here and a couple of the other ones they are working together with. The second part was what we're looking forward to, which is Q2. So basically the second quarter, we're coming up to that quite fast since we're already in the middle of March here now. Introduction of the listing mechanism for the integrating assets into the Decenomy part here. And then also contract creations, incorporation for the asset providers. Further structure also regarding a think tank and the setup and implementation of that. And then obviously the Yield Notes Pro, development of the first version of the Yield Notes Pro. So we are still looking most probably about 3 weeks ahead here in time before that will happen and where they will release the first test version of the Yield Notes Pro. So obviously still a long way to go for Decenomy, but we have been waiting pretty much for a year by now here. So what is another 2 or 3 months? Let's have a look at the SAP coin. Now, pretty much as you can see here on the graph, things has not really moved much. So last week we were at the 0.60 and then 1.2. Since then it dropped down to about half, so very quickly down here. And then retraced a bit again and now trading sideways at the moment. So at 0.60, 1.1. So pretty much nothing to report for that particular week here either. And it continues with nothing to report. If we look at the SAP staking, the last one we got actually some money in from the SAP staking here. We haven't stopped it at any given point, was the 18th of February. Since then, pretty much nothing. As you can see here, February was half of what we saw in January. So quite disappointing, and we haven't really changed anything. So other than the same setup, and every 1 or 2 weeks, the VPSs that we have on here is going to be updated, reloaded, things like this. But that shouldn't basically matter because that has always been the case here. We are updating things. Same for the PNY. Also nothing here since the 7th of March, so no development. Also here looks like things have been dropping since January, and then almost February was also half in here. And then March looks pretty dull at the moment. So pretty much nothing to report, but obviously you can always come back to these ones here later. Hopefully next week we'll have some nice positive news. In the meantime, let's have a look at Bitcoin versus USD. And Bitcoin actually managed to get a new all-time high in the last week of 73,777. And shortly after that, it dropped again down to 65,800. So obviously huge up and down in here overall. And we were pretty much a bit on the low side or in the middle of where we were here. So last time it was about 68,200 from last week. And then a nice positive trend up here and then a quick dump once again. It's going to be interesting to see if we are now going to see new all-time highs also for the next couple of weeks. Also on the Trillant news platform here, there's only one set of news, actually came like this. And again, it says here for those who still do not understand that there's a legal process and investigation running here at all levels. We know this time is demanding for you as well. However, as a customer of the company, you are not entitled to any information other than what we share with you. Sounds a bit on the rough side here, that basically stay away and leave us alone. In fact, it could and would hurt Trillant in this case, making things even more complex. Even if we were to give a more in-depth information, basically, is what they're saying, which I don't really understand. But anyway, they also mention here that they can assure us that the team is doing the utmost to bring this case to a positive conclusion as quickly as possible. And then Trillant has already filed the necessary paperwork and is waiting for the other party here at the moment. So I guess they're waiting for some kind of update and for an audit. And then in addition, they have also dealt with the lawyers who illegally obtained the data, and they will ensure that the data is not used to cause harm in here. If there's any news, they will contact us immediately, so through this particular channel here. And then they ask us to be patient and give the parties involved the time they need to check everything up. So obviously we have really no choice at the moment, other than we can go and have a closer look at CoinStore, see where we are. Last week, we ended up somewhere around the 0.3018, and since then, things has been going slowly but surely downwards, all the way down to 0.0001650. After that, again, has been moving a bit forward, and currently trading at 0.0001709. So again, not much movement overall. Same with Money3, not much movement for the week. Low risk is actually in drawdown at the moment here. Medium risk also has made no money. It's in a very small drawdown, and funny enough, the high risk account has actually cashed in, and it looks like the medium risk account didn't manage to do that at the same time. So there is a bit of a split more than just the money involved this time around, and that goes sometimes for the brokers, even though they're on the same BPS, even though they're on the same broker. Things are changing sometimes, and that is definitely, once again, a confirmation for this. If we have a closer look and see the development, if you remember in the beginning, things went very well, and then we had a rough time here with the Money3. After that, we made a range of adjustment, worked very well. Unfortunately, we managed to put in too big of a lot size again in here, which basically dropped again back to the same level. And now we're working our way forward once again. So obviously this has proven to be a very difficult and painful child over time. You can see the net profits going back to 2023. We started off in May very nicely. Then we lost a bit of it. And then the second month we lost even more. And then obviously we made some adjustments, and then we made a bit of profit all the way through. Things were looking up here now in January, and then in February we got another big bill to pay, unfortunately, and we ended up back where we were before. And now in March, things are looking a bit up with $192 right now. But there's a long way to go to get this one here stable over time, even though the history has 323 days in here. So you still have to be very careful when you trade this one, not to use too big of a lot size. Profit Retriever uses reasonable lot sizing, I would say. The top 5 EAs for this particular week in here is silver, and that managed $631, or 6.3% in New Zealand USD, $230, or 2.3%. And then we have the US CAD, $192, 1.9%. Great British Pounds, the number 2 signal in here, $152, 1.5%. And then the Aussie USD finish off in the top 5 here, $110, 1.1%. So it is a bit low for the week again, also here. Definitely, you can see that both February and also beginning of March is certainly not the best one. We managed to do $1,316 of the top 5, or 2.6% in total. And that's definitely not good enough compared to what we are normally seeing. Now, if we have a look at the entire portfolio in here, we can see that, well, the weekly and the monthly returns, as I mentioned many times before, will go down because we always keep the same lot sizing, so we're not building this up You will actually see that later on one of the live trading accounts, how that will work instead, where the percentage can actually be kept up if you don't do it and use it for copy link trading. History, 722 days in here, so plenty of data. And then you can see the net profits over time for the individual weeks. Not too bad. Our week ended up with 1,529. So again, definitely low. You can see that previously in the end of last year here, things were a lot better. We had up to, that was end of January, 4,000. And you also have a 4,000 earlier back here, so in early 2024. Since then, things have calmed down a bit. Trading hasn't really been fully optimum. Now again, we always have on the website in here that if you want to know more about the profit retriever, you simply click this particular link here. If you're more interested in the copy link service, which covers both the profit retriever and many other signals, you can click the other link over here. You don't have to set anything up. From a trading perspective, so regarding the different EAs, you can simply copy them up. You obviously need a trading account, and there's a lot more details on that, including videos for you here. Now, if we go on to the Trade Explorer looks like it's been doing better again this particular week. The 22 pair is up $148. 1.8%, and 10 pair one is $375 or 3.8%. So definitely, again, the 10 pair one seems to be able to take the lead. And if we have a look at the graph and some of the numbers that are in here, weekly return 1.7, monthly return 7.5, and then history 305 days, so pretty well, and also a pretty good graph overall. Going back on the individual months in here, we can see that this was 2023, May. One of the best months we had here was June, 2,500, 1,700, 600, 1,200, 1,600, 1,100. And then the last couple of months, again, also seems a bit low here. January, 505, February, 506. And at the moment, we're in March, 311. So you can see also here, profit is not so good in 2024 so far. Things has to be working very hard just to get some money in. But let's have a look at the 10 pair one. Also here again, we start off in 2023 in May. Up here, we have some higher numbers, 3,500 here for July is actually a lot better. And then we have a bit of a crash back then, 1,700. So that's that little notch that we had here. So it was a margin call back then, but again, because we're not using big leverage, then we managed quite okay. You can see we only dropped not even down to the initial level, but we made it back the month after again, and since then we have been doing quite well. It looks like also the 10 pair one here is doing a lot better. You can see here in January, so that did quite well, 2,300. February was a bit low. Now it looks like March is going to be a bit better since we only done half a month of March. So there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. Light at the end of the tunnel is also something you have with the Wave Liberator for week 11. Again, we have the top 5 EAs in here, and the amount is set up in such a way that yes, we are actually trading the Wave Liberator on $10,000 accounts, but we are using these results as if you were trading them on a $1,000. You can actually do that, and you can put them in a portfolio. We have shown you that before, talked about that. Great British Pounds, $48 or 4.8%, so very nice just for 1 week. New Zealand Japanese, $38 or 3.8%. And the Swiss franc, Japanese also here, $38 or 3.8%. And then New Zealand USD, $36, 3.6%. And last but not least, in the top 5 at the bottom here, US CAD, $33 or 3.3%. And if you would have traded those 5 signals here for the past week, you have made $192 or 3.9% for the week. And that is definitely good in our book. Even though that we are on the low side, and you can see here weekly return 0.4, monthly return 1.5. And again, this is actually down to, this is set up for FTMO trading, but look at the graph itself here, extremely smooth all the way through here. So very, very stable EA, very, very good settings. And yes, you can actually use this fund FTMO or proprietary trading because it has never gotten over 5% on the drawdown side. History 209 days, and then if we have a look at the individual months, going back to August when we set it up first, that was when the Wave Liberator was actually introduced by Expert Forex. You can see net profit $440. Since then, things have been looking up. Biggest month was actually December, which sometimes can be really good and sometimes really bad. Also here we can see there's a drop in earnings. January was okay, 2,146, and then February again on the slow side, 1,600. Right now it looks like it's pretty much even Steven in here. 1,600 is most probably where we're gonna end up also here for the month of March. So we'll have to see. Now these signals here, you can obviously find with the Wave Liberator, and they are also linked now with our new PAMM account. So all you have to do is you have to go to our website in here, click the portfolio button up here, click on the PAMM account, and then you'll get more information. And you can find a lot more on the Wave Liberator, results, videos, and you can also go and see our real life FX Blue trading results. So we have added also a live account in here just to show you how things are working. And you can obviously start here. We have also mentioned that we started on the 4th of March 2024, and you simply click the link in here. That will take you on, and you can basically join the PAMM account in here. Now if you click the real life FX Blue trading account, we'll show you how it actually works when you are constantly adjusting the lot sizing. So the real account here started off with $10,000. The balance currently has surpassed 50%, so $15,296. Equity is just above also 15, floating profit minus 159 at the moment. And you can see it's a real account in here. Total return 51.8% at the moment, and the monthly return is set at 13.7, weekly returns at 3.1. So it's ticking over nicely. That's what we want. Slow and steady wins the race. Trade wins is just over 70%, so quite impressive. And then the history of this particular account, 104 days. And you can see the range of currency pairs that is in here. It's currently have about 15, 16 of the Wave Liberator EAs. So, and that also makes the graph itself sort of very smooth. You can see a few notches on here, and that's every single time that we're actually making some adjustments to these particular accounts. If we take another look again here at the numbers, we can see weekly returns, again 3.1, 13.7 monthly returns, profit factor, and history 104 days in here. And then we have all the individual weeks going all the way back to mid-December. See, we had a very good start, 431, 432, so very, very stable all the way through. And then in early January, it was quite low and starting to pick up a bit again. And then we had a massive $589 in here just in the early week of February. After that, February again was a bit low for a couple of weeks, and then another one of 512. March started off very low, and as you can see, we have now adjusted also some of the lot sizing again, so we're now up at $673. And if we have a closer look now also on the monthly side, you can see more clearly here what is actually happening, because we are no longer restricted in our lot sizing. This is not on the copy link service, so obviously this is taking all the signals that you have already seen here, but we are adjusting them as there's more money into the account, similar to our PAMM account. So in December we made 1,200, and January 1,300, February 1,500, and you can see at the moment now in March we are only middle of March and we are already up to 1,243. So obviously let's hope we're going to break into the $2,000 month, so that will be great. Now you can obviously find a lot more details on our website, and these are all the signals that we have in here for you. You can go and have a look at them individually, but again, and if you are trading them individually on individual accounts, we do recommend you, even though it says up here also that you can do it with a $1,000 account, but we suggest that you put 3,000 in just to be sure, again to reduce your risk. But if you put it into a portfolio, you can actually get away with simply just trading them as the $1,000 accounts. So if you have 16 as you have here, you can set up a $16,000 account and then trade all of them at the same time, and you'll get something like the results I've shown you here before. Now on our copy link service, we now have 3 new links in here, and you'll find them also on our website again. So where the Swiss francs Japanese is now link 161C, and then the second one, 162C, is British pounds CAD, and the last one, 163C, is the Euro CAD. Means that you now have 16 different accounts, similar to what we have shown you on the portfolio and the PAMM account, to just get on with. So, and let's have a look at the PAMM account. Let's see how that has been going, because I'm sure you are quite interested in that also. First of all, let's have a look and see exactly the balance of this particular account has now hit 97,000 in here. At the moment, the equity is 95. On Friday afternoon, we actually had almost 0 in floating profits. And then Friday hit in here and just pulled it down a couple of thousand. Still, obviously, plenty of room, only a few percentage in drawdown. Obviously, we would have liked to cash that in instead. But at the end of the day, you can see also margin in use, 1,860, and plenty of free margin at the end of the day. It tells you total return, 0.4%, obviously because of the equity loss in here. But it says and calculates about monthly return 6.4, 1.5 on the weekly returns, trade wins about 68, and then history is 17 days. So these are a bit off. You can see we actually started a bit earlier setting the account up. So it has a few many days in here that it's counting overall. But as we started off with the account in here, it started off at $10,000, and then slowly but surely more and more investors has added into it. So we have also been adding EAs. You can see some of the different levels that you have in here. More and more is actually coming in. So, and that also will take up the overall profit. And definitely in the beginning, it's always a bit difficult to try and catch up with the extra money that comes in. You've got to increase the lot size, or you're going to have to also add additional EAs, similar to what we've done. You can see there's quite a few EAs in here. And if we have a closer look and see just how the development has been over those particular days. So again, the same numbers up here. 17 days is not really true. We have about 10 days, 2 times 5. So that is what we have originally. You can see that the days and net profits, so these are individual days. So first day didn't really do much, starting off with the EAs. The next days, and this was again only when we had about $10,000 in there for the first many days. Then we added EAs, and you can see all of a sudden we're getting a profit of $221. The next day again here 193. Then we ended up also here on the Monday, extremely slow again, not really much happening. And then all of whatever didn't happen on Monday certainly happened on Tuesday with 611. Then 246, 660, and then Friday also became pretty okay until at the end of the day, where everything went a bit south. Small little drawdowns here and there, as you can see. But overall, it's not too bad. If we have a look on the weekly scale, we have it down here. So the first week was $523. So, and that was where we started off with the 10. Second week here was 1,700, and obviously it has been adjusted, so we're expecting even more the next weeks. Days, of course, so this is just the date, our clients that has come in so far, so it's very nice to see that so many is using the opportunity to do this. And then this is the trading volume of 23.54 lots, so certainly has gone up quite a bit, as you can imagine, with almost $100,000 account in here. So obviously there will be a lot more details and information as we progress and as we get more data, as we get the profit more stable. That will still take some time as we are catching up every single time new investors are coming in. As the minimum is $2,000, that is okay, we can adjust that, but some have dropped in also $10,000 or $15,000, and obviously that requires some adjustment from our side here to make sure that we are constantly producing some good numbers. Part of that is actually also this video here. This is from Alex from Expert Forex, and again talking about the MAM or PAMM service. Basically it's one and the same, and again easy to make money. So this is the new style, and Alex also mentions our service in here again. So definitely I encourage you to go and have a closer look and see if this is something for you, because you don't have to buy robots, you don't have to set up or figure out the VPS, MT4 platforms, things like this. All you have to do is simply open an account with the Black Bull Market, find the high-tech investment wave Liberator signal, and then subscribe to that one, and then from there on everything is pretty much straightforward. And that's what we had for you in this week's news report. We hope you enjoyed it, hope you got excited about some of all the investment and trading opportunities that we have shown you again this week. As always, obviously we go ahead with our money first, and obviously you will see it always live here on High Tech Investment. So until my next video, see you around. Bye bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.